Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am somewhere in the glacier area on August the 3rd, 2024, and it is my 14th day of going without food. Recently, I was able to communicate with somebody about sobriety, and I think that sobriety takes a lot more than, of course, just abstaining from the act of whatever it is that we once used to indulge in. There also has to be a mindfulness aspect. When we're not mindful, we often don't pay attention to the words that are being said back and forth in whatever format they might be. For an example, someone might send a text message that says, I'm going to be passing through Bozeman and then basically going on to the glacier area, and it just might not make sense to whoever's reading it. But that might be for a number of reasons. One, they might not be familiar with the area, and two, they might be distracted by other things that are going on during their daily lives. Whatever the case, sobriety is an important state of mind to be in when trying to accomplish something. If we are not sober about our vision to accomplish something, we're not going to achieve it. That's just the way it is. And so for me, the vision is that here I am in these great expanses of wilderness, noticing a great decline in a lot of the species that we normally would see, both plant and animal, and in some regards, just whether they fruit or not. And all of these things are happening so rapidly around us that I think that it behooves us to try and rapidly share this information. And in order to do that, sometimes we have to go without the other distractions. Like, it's great to have a news conference, and a gathering where people can talk about some kind of climate summit. But at the same time, if you look across those tables, there are binders, bottles of water, suits and ties, and all kinds of things that were produced just to talk about the thing that ironically is being disrupted by our continued civilities. And that makes me a little bit agitated. And it should make a lot of people agitated. And that's why we want to lash out at one another in many cases. But, what do I know? I'm not a parent to many people. My own parents wouldn't want to accept this type of insight from me, not without a little bit of panic and also consideration that maybe we are at fault for some of the things that are going on in these ecosystems. But for whatever reason, accepting that we contributed to some of this mess and that we need to clean it up was such a point of contention with my own father during a recent conversation that my blood pressure went up for days. Some might call this generational curses. I might call it generations cursing at one another. And in some cases, we don't know that the truth, although it can sound scathing, is not a curse. It's simply an observation pointed out by someone who cares enough to reflect it right back at you the way that it truly is. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you understand why I myself am going without food. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm just providing an account, because many of us could certainly take the time to give one another the opportunity to also have a space at the table, lest we all die at the same time while we're dining at it without observing the majority around us. Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.